Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is your boy Sam from Art of Trading here, and today we're looking at AMC Incorporated, and today we're also going to be looking at some of their latest news and also some sort of suspicions about what I have with the dark pool and what I think is going on within these dark pools and where I think this stock may be going within the dark pools and potentially when they come out of the dark pools and once all this information is released to the public, which, don't get me wrong, it will eventually be. With that being said, if you haven't already, please remember to hit that like button and subscribe for you. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers and I can't thank you enough, and any help to get us over the line is very much appreciated. With that being said, let's go on with the video. Before we get into today's video, I just want to say that I'm in no way, shape or form a financial advisor, and please take anything I say with a pinch of salt. I'm simply a university student studying business and management, and that is all. Stocks are battlefields. Be sure to do your own research or in due diligence before entering into the battlefield. I can only scout the battlefield for you, however, I cannot fight the battle for you. With that being said, let's get into the video. So, to start off the video, I thought I would start with the doom and gloom of what these negative press are trying to say about AMC. I know a lot of it is baloney, but, so just bear in mind, so just take into account, you have to bear in mind what they're saying, right? So, AMC Entertainment stock has rocketed so far in 2021. In volatile trading, executives of the theatre chain recently sold a large amount of stock. After selling none last year, in fact, for 3 of 4 of the executives, these are their first stock sales on the open market on record. So, are we able to bear that thought in mind? Because I have a little bit of a suspicion of what's happening with these stocks and why they reported it in this manner. Now, as you all know, AMC is a very heavily dark pooled stock. There was, I think it was 2.3 billion shares that were being traded within this sort of dark pool manner, which, if anyone doesn't know what dark pooling is essentially the hedge funders or the 1%, which the institutional 1% literally can trade without the public knowing. So they can trade like outside of the public eye. So although they will have to show us these trades eventually, they are able to, there's just a massive lack of transparency when trading using this method, and that is clearly what a lot of these hedge funders and pension funds are currently using to manipulate the stock, and also just sort of pulling wool over our eyes at the moment. But using the dark pooling method in mind, is it possible that these hedge funders, because we all know they have to cover these short positions, could they be using these executives to trade using this dark pool method for a very large amount? Because within the dark pool, AMC could be trading at $50, $100, like those numbers which we have been having in our head, and that could be why these executives have sold for so much, because they could, and this is all there's no substance to this, I have no evidence of this happening, but I wanted to just sort of express my opinion of what this could be, that these executives could have been trading within the dark pool. They could have traded all of these stocks within the dark pool and reported it in this manner to show that AMC isn't going to go up, even though we all know what's going on. We all know the manipulation that is going on within this stock, and it's also clear as well that AMC is going to take off at some point. Now, I'm not sure how much stock these executives have sold. They didn't really disclose that. They gave us a brief bit of detail. They said that, what was it? So Kevin Connor, Senior VP, Councillor, Secretary, sold a total of 72,000 AMC shares. Another person owns 100. He sold 100,000 shares, Stephen Colanero. But even though all of these AMC shares, right, are being sold, I'm very not sure of how the media are actually expressing this, and I'm not sure. I feel like there is a lack of transparency currently going on, because I don't see a reason for these AMC executives to really sell at the current price that AMC is at this $10.26 mark. Now, everyone take what I say as a pinch of salt. I am just stating what I think could be happening behind the scenes, but I have no evidence. There's no substance behind my arguments, and we're just gonna have to see what happens in the upcoming days, really, and just see where this goes in the future. With that being said, we are now going to go on to some other news that came out about AMC before we get onto the graphical analysis of AMC and where I think it's going to go in the coming days. With that being said, let's get on. And so I forgot to say actually in the last clip of that, of when I was explaining about dark pooling, is even though these shares from these AMC executives may be sold within these dark pools, in the grand scheme of things, there are still currently $2.3 billion worth of shares. So even if these hedge funders have bought back a small amount of these shares from these AMC executives, they still have to cover a very large amount of these shares. Now, they've got two options, right? They can either double down on shorts, they could either short even more using this dark pool method, or they could be buying back the shares that they are contracted to have or contracted to be able to give back to AMC, but they could be doing it without the public knowing, right? But even if they were, that would mean that AMC's price within these dark pools would be exceptionally high. And that will translate over to the price when all of this comes out eventually. So I would not worry, and I would say sit tight with AMC currently. Not financial advice. Do what's best for your financial position. So I think it's always interest when looking at AMC to always look at the short interest that Fintel are currently stating. And I know Fintel has been a little bit dodgy, a little bit manipulative with AMC. We've all caught them out on that. But, you know, we'll see what their numbers are saying. So they're currently saying that the short volume ratio is 19%. Now, 19%, sorry, is still very high. Even if this is true, I believe it's higher, but we'll take it as they will. 90% is still very high. Like, if you think of the Volkswagen squeeze, right? The Volkswagen squeeze, I believe, now I may have got this wrong, but I believe the short interest when that squeezed was at 8%. So the fact this is 19% is still significantly high, and it's still susceptible to a squeeze. Don't make that mistake, you know? And the fact that they're using dark pools like to short this stock even more, there's just definitely a massive lack of transparency going on within this AMC stock. And personally, I would just like to know the truth. I don't really care what they're doing, but I just want to know. I want to see the facts straight, but obviously that's what the dark pool's for. So the retail investors like you and I can't see what they're doing behind the scenes. So the short shares available is currently 1.3 million. So they do still have a lot of shorts available, which, you know, doesn't really make sense, the price action. But we haven't really seen much volatility recently within AMC. It sort of stayed around that $10 mark. So, you know, that sort of adds up, but sort of doesn't. The short borrow fee rate, 1.72. Now, I believe this is actually a lot higher than what is reported. I reckon the borrow fee rate is probably edging towards the 10%, maybe even 20% mark. And that's because the sheer amount of shorts that we have seen they've had to take out to be able to keep this price down, because we were at $14 the other day and they had to bring this right back down to $10 again. So, you know, you got to bear that in mind, that I think the short borrow fee rate is probably a lot higher than what Fintel are currently reporting. And also as well, just the general short volume ratio is sort of like it's always stayed above that sort of 15% mark. Now, I don't know why it went down to 7. Like, whoever reported that, like, I have no idea what the heck happened there. But you see, we've always had a very high amount of short volume ratio in this stock, and that is purely why. Well, it's not the only reason why, but I think that AMC right now is susceptible to a squeeze still, and I think it is still a buy for all you apes, all you gorillas out there. I think it's still a buy, and it is not a dead cat, personally. And, you know, do your own due diligence, do your own research, but this is all my opinion. Now, moving on to the graphical analysis of AMC, you can sort of see I've created a bullish flag formation within this stock, and you can see there has been 3 touch points of support there, and there was also, sorry, this is slightly off now, and there is currently 3 points of resistance. So this is a very strong flag of where AMC could go. And as you see, we are sort of reaching this middle point here. Now, this will be a very interesting place to watch where the stock is going to go up, create a new support structure, which a lot of bullish flags tend to do, or whether it's going to like sort of create a lower structure. But personally, I think that what we're going to see, right, using the golden rule, we are going to see a retracement back up to around, I think it could go back up to 11.9 again, personally. Potentially, right, it could be 11.2. Now, I would not be surprised if that happened, because what we're seeing is we're seeing a fair bit of volume. We're seeing a lot of buy volume coming into AMC right now, which is what we want. We want as much buy volume within the stock as possible, because AMC is owned by a lot of AMC is owned by us, so we can drive the price of AMC up if enough people buy. But obviously, do what's best for your financial position. And this is all my opinion on where I think that AMC is going to go in the not so distant future. Potentially the next couple of days, we may see it break 11 again and create, I think, a new support structure actually at $11, which would be great, honestly. You know, I've currently got positions in AMC. I currently have 26 positions. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but bear with me, guys. I'm still on the student budget, so relax, all right? But yeah, I am proud to be part of this movement, and honestly, like I think AMC is going to the moon at some point, or else I would invest in it. I would have gone to another stock, a more long-term stock, but I have faith within this sort of community, and personally, I think that AMC is going to do very well in not so distant future. With that being said, I hope you have all enjoyed today's video. If you are, please remember to hit that like button and subscribe for new. It really helps the channel out, and we're currently on the road to 1,000 subscribers. So if you all can help me get there, that'd be very much appreciated. Myself and Josh are very much appreciative of all of you and the trading fleet. So with that being said, thank you for watching. This has been your boy Sam from About Trading. See you in the next video on the channel. Take care, everyone.